Hi everyone. Okay, today's video is a little bit different. I am thinking of dedicating this video to all the parents out there. I know that it has been a very tough journey for you guys also, because as you have started preparing examination from the start of the year all the way until the end of the year. So it's always a constant process of finding the right tuition center, finding the right tutor to help your kids in order to overcome the challenges you face in school. But in my opinion, as an educator for almost about 15 years, okay, I have actually went through many students. So in fact, my range of students started from as young as the primary school and as old as a tertiary JC student. So some of the observation that I made is that I feel that whether you are a 10-year-old kid versus whether you are an 18-year-old kid, in my opinion, is that it is always a constant need for the parents to support them. So when I say support, actually it comes in many different forms. Most of the parents might have the idea that if let's say I am well-to-do, I will provide the food that he needs, and also coming to the education part, I'll provide all the tuition that you need. But sometimes I find that the part that is really lacking, because when the student come to me, they will be chatting with me and talking to me about their parents and maybe their friends in school and so on and so forth. So that's where I actually start to understand a little bit more of how things are back home, and then I will try to also provide my support and give advice accordingly. But of course, as a teacher, there's a limitation to what are the things that I can talk about as well. So back home, I think the most important support, whether it's financially or spiritually, it all comes from the parent, which is why I would say that when the day you decide to become a parent, you kind of become their first teacher, and you will be their life teacher as well for life, right, throughout the years. So whenever they are down and they need support, it really must come from you, right? So it's not really just about tuition as well. So my first point here that I want to share with you will be more on taking care of their well-being. And what I say taking an interest is more of the case where you need to be familiar of the things that's happening around them. So a lot of times the kids will feedback to me and say that, oh, their parents is too busy working and all these things to bring back the bread and butter for the family. But more importantly is that maybe all you need to do is to allocate a time on a weekly basis. If you cannot do it every day, then you at least allocate a time on a weekly basis. The idea is that you need to keep connecting with them, because over time, if let's say they find that they cannot connect with you, and whenever you are trying to communicate with them, right, you also appear to be very impatient, then this is where they will tell you less and less things. And the less you know, the more you will misunderstand them, and eventually you will just be shouting at them. So one of the things I would say is that maybe you can start by taking some interest in their life, making sure you understand the friends they have, the challenges they face, because they are very young, so they are very lost. They don't have a lot of life experience, so most of the experiences come from you. So I would say that you might really need to try to help them and work with them and take interest in their life. So when they find that you are really genuinely taking an interest, then they will be more willing to share, and then we will be able to solve problems moving forward. Okay, so that is point number one. Point number two, especially for this period where you have a lot of examination going on and upcoming examination, the more important thing, apart from sending them for tuition, finding the right tutor, would probably be looking out for signs of distress. Recently, I talked to one of the parents, and the parent was saying that, yeah, my kid struggled in this topic, and I said that, yeah, I also noticed that. And one of the things that I also noticed is that when they come for lesson, they are usually not prepared and they did not have their work done. So then, but according to the parent was sharing with me that the kid is really doing a lot of work at home, but those are the school work, so tuition work so far has not been done yet. Yeah. So but I was saying that instead of playing the kids, that maybe you should keep an eye on him or her and make sure that he complete the work. In fact, I actually say that, oh, then it's okay. Then I think it could be because that he or she is already struggling with the work in school. So maybe you might want to keep an eye on him or her and try to talk to him or her, because as you go to higher level, P5, P6 or Sec 3, Sec 4, and eventually J1, J2, this will continue to build up and it will get worse and worse. So it's important to look out for these signs of distress, and maybe just remind our kids that take a step back. Maybe we can go for a movie, we go for a dinner, rather than say, oh, you need to finish this stack of 10 past year paper. Right? I'll give you more work. You are weak in math, let's do more math. You are weak in science, let's do more science. Right? I don't think that is the right way. But of course, the thing is that it is important for you to identify this sign and then try to take a step back to see what are the emotional support that you can provide. So maybe he has been working a lot, but he has been doing it wrongly. Like I shared in my math video as well when I talked to the kids, I said that doing a lot of past year paper for math is one of the ways to do it, but it should not be done in one shot. It has to be over a period of time. Right? So consistent practice is more important than like suddenly you do a lot. So that's one of the things that you might want to look out for. So signs of distress. So when you see that your kids is doing a lot of work, but yet teacher feedback to you that the works are not being done, it could be a sign that your child might not be coping. Right? So then it's time to take a step back and manage the expectation according to that. Of course, this next slide will be quite close to heart to you, talking about the actual school examinations. And in today's context, unlike the past where we talk about CA, continuous assessment, or summative assessment, the final exam, end of year and all these things, or prelim. So these are all points, checkpoints for you to know how well your kids is actually learning. But the thing that people do not know will be, a lot of times when parents come to me, they say that, I send my kids for tuition, but how come they are still failing their WA? Okay, but then the next instance, right, in the next round, maybe WA2 fail, WA3 come and tell me, wow, very good, now I'll improve to a AL1 or maybe a A1. Yeah, so it's not actually done this way, because weighted assessment is meant to keep track of the students' learning, to help them to understand where they are for that particular topic. It's topical or group topic. It is not meant to tell you that you are good in math or science. So the thing that we should look at will be, it means to say that maybe for that field topic, it's a weak area. So maybe when you come to the formative assessment or the summative assessment, when you want to examine as a whole, these are the areas that maybe you want to take a bit more time. But contrary to most people believe, is also the case where maybe you might want your kids to build up on the competent topic first, because those are the ones that will boost the morale, and then he or she will be more likely to want to do more. But you start off with the one, okay, you are weak in fraction, let's do more fraction. Then you're actually pushing him or her away from the subject. Because I'm weak, you keep asking me to do, it just made me hate the subject even more. So I will not suggest that you just keep asking him to drill into that. And of course, last but not least, manage your expectation. If let's say the WA has been poorly done, then in general, we probably won't expect him or her to get 100 out of a sudden. So it's a progressive process, and it is actually a marathon. It's not really a sprint. So you cannot expect a sudden jump as well. But more importantly is that maybe check back and see what are the struggle area. Maybe there's some learning disability in certain kind of information. Then maybe you can change the style. Rather than asking him or her to look at the words, maybe try to convert it into a picture to help him or her to understand. Okay, and my last point for today's video is on this. I would say that learning is always a process, which is the reason why the school has dedicated a lot of resources to build content knowledge and apparatus and show and tell a lot of things, especially for science, to help the students learn better and enjoy the process of learning. So at the end of the day, different people are different. So if you ask me, if you have students that can even improve a 5 mark, I think to me that's already very good. Not everyone is on the same page. While people who are consistently getting about 90 plus, so to him when it becomes an 85, or that's unacceptable. But of course, this is all individual dependent. So at the end, I will say that learn with your child. While you might not know the content, but I will say that if you are willing to walk the journey with your child, I think that will really help a lot. Because I think what your child might actually need is really you being there and supporting him. You don't know, maybe we let's figure out. I ever got this parent where I think she was able to even follow the child to do all the learning all the way. So in terms of revision, right? Okay, actually I didn't learn bio before, but let me take a look at the textbook and then we work on it together. So things like this. So I would say that it is actually the support that you show that really make a difference. And you will find that the result will become very positive, because your child is more willing to share with you things in the future, and then eventually when he or she actually encounter problem, he will not run away from you, he will actually come to you for advice. Okay, so these are some of the observations I made throughout my 15 years of education. I would say that it has been very useful to me because whenever the kids face problem, they will also come to me for advice as well. Then sometimes I also advise parents on what to do, because you might be too busy, not saying that you do not know the subject, but maybe you are just too busy to look at them. And I think it will really help for someone who has been into the education realm to help you to better understand what not to do and what to do to help you better. Of course, at the end of the day, this is my personal opinion based on my experience. You can agree or don't agree, because this is really dependent on your kids as well. Yeah, but of course, everyone just eventually want the kids' well-being, so eventually everybody will get to somewhere, so everybody is different. Alright, okay, so thank you for watching this video. This is a very short video by me, and I hope that in my next video, if you like this video, I will shoot more video to provide different advices, maybe on subject specific as well. This is just a general preparation for the examinations. Okay, thank you very much. Hope to see you again in my next video.